Continue here, the next question. We have 2 raised to the power x times 8 is equal to 64. And the task is to find what is x. Now for this question, there's a way that you can solve for it. However, this is a great opportunity for you to understand how you can test to know what your answer is. So let's look closely at what's happening here. We have 2x times 8 equals 64. So it's 2 raised to the power x. So it's 2 raised to the power x times 8 equals 64. So in this case, this is an equation and we know what our answer is. And notice on multiple choice questions, they give you possible solutions. So this is where testing comes into place, wherein you would substitute each of the available options into the equation to see if you have the answer. Remember, we're trying to have the answer of 64. So let's look at 2 squared times 8. 2 squared means 2 times 2, which is then times 8. 2 times 2 is 4, times 8, which is 32. Therefore, this answer is out. Let's do 2 to the third now. So we'll do 2 to the third power times 8, which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64, which indicates that this answer here is B. And again, testing is a great way for you to actually just try and solve a question just by substituting a value in. So moving on to the next one here, we have a shirt cost $45. If it's sold for $60, what is the profit? This is a very straightforward profit question. So all we actually have to do is consider what we're looking at. The cost, $45, sold $60. Generally speaking, we would just do a subtraction for this. 60 subtracting 45 leaves us with the answer of 15. So that here is C. Now, the reason why you're doing the subtraction is simply because you're moving from the cost price to the selling price. And you understand as well that you're looking for a profit. So you're looking for the difference of, or you're looking for the increase in how much a person actually made when they made the sale. Moving on. How much VAT, 10%, is charged on a bill of $200? Now, I know for us here in Guyana, we don't really deal with the cents. That's part of how questions would come. But just pay attention that this here is 200.00. So the 200 is the dollars and the 0.00 represents cents. Now, VAT. What is VAT? VAT is value added tax. Value added tax. So notice what it says here. This is very key to understanding it's added, meaning that how much VAT of 10% is added onto a bill of $200. So let's treat it as a simple percentage question. 10 over 100 multiplied by 200. So we're sticking just to $200 because the cents is 00. Those are basically placeholders. So the 2 zeros cancel the 2 zeros. 10 times 2 is 20. Therefore, when the VAT that's added onto this 200 bill is simply $20. So we'll then shade here, which is B. Moving on to the next question. What we actually have here is a car value depreciates by 10% annually. If its current value is $18,000, what will be its worth after a year? Now, depreciation, or in this case, we just have it as depreciate. This here, this word here, which you see here, it's loss. So much money is lost after 1 year if 10% is deducted. So let's just work straight into that, another percentage style question. So we'll do 10 over 100 times 18,000. Notice it's a comma and not a decimal place, or someone say a full stop, it's not that dot. So it's 18,000 because it's a comma. So let's now just start canceling out. Let's do 1010 here with here. So 1 times 1800 would just give me 1800. So after 1 year, $1,800 is going to be deducted from the value of this car. So let's move into that part now. If $1,800 comes off, we'd have 18,000, which is the additional value. Then we have here is 1,800. Do a subtraction. So this borrowing 1 from here is 7. 10, we put 0, 0. 8 from 10 is 2. 1 from 7, 6, 1. So we have 16,200. So this here, B, is the answer. Remember, depreciation is loss, meaning that at the end of the year, when the 10% deduction is going for this 18,000, the new value of this car is 16,200. And moving on now to the next question. If 12 apples cost $4.80, how much do 30 apples cost? So what we're told here is that the $12 is equal to $4.80. So let me just erase this here. So 12 of the apples is equal to $4.80. Sorry for my earlier misspeaking there. So 12 apples, $4.80. So 1 apple is equal to $4.80 divided by 12. So it's a decimal question. So let's make this simplistic. So the decimal point is here. Let's move it to the right 2 places to make it a whole number. So 480 divided by 12. 12 1's 12, 12 2's 24, 12 3's 36, 12 4's 48. And then we just bring back our 0 there. But when we think about it, we actually moved, sorry about that, we actually moved 2 places to the right. So to finalize this here, we'll need to move 2 places to the left for our answer. So we do 1, 2, and we put a 0 in front. So it's 40 cents. So this is one approach you can use to start working decimal-based questions. Of course, if you're more comfortable, you do your long division approach. But again, with the practice questions you'll be doing, it's going to give you an opportunity to see which one works better for you and you're more comfortable working with it. So we know that 1 apple costs 40 cents. So 30 apples will be equal to 30 times the 40 cents. So let's work this out here now. Let's come here. So we'd have 0.40 times 30, 0, 3 noughts and noughts, 3 4's 12. Decimal places we have 1, 2. So we start from here, 1, 2, giving us the answer here to be $12. Okay, and this will be the end of this video. Continue the playlist to see the next 5 questions that were part of this paper.